Hi, I'm Monty McKinnon. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to look at what we have to do in order to put the actual fret slots into a piece of wood. Now what I have done is I have taken my calipers and I have measured here, and I know I'm like within 10,000ths of an inch or something of that nature. I'm not too concerned about that. That's pretty straight. And I know that this one is straight. Now, this jig I got at StewMac, and you can see a close-up of it here because what I have done is on this jig, I took the side that I want for the scale length I want, which is 25.4, and I have numbered the slots. I started with N for nut, and then I went 1, 2, 3, 4, so I know where all the slots are right up to 22. I've got 23 or 24 if I wanted to have an extra long neck, which I don't have on this. I probably won't even get to, I might get to 22, I don't know. We'll see, because we're going to go over to the saw and do that in just a minute. But what I've done is I took this board and I placed some double-sided tape on the board, and then I simply took this jig here and put the board on the edge, right on the edge at the one end, and I could feel it, and I could feel it there on the other, and then I just set it down gently, and then I've pushed on it like this so as to make sure that I've got it all pushed down nice and firm. So that's there, ready for us to go over and to cut. And I'm going to cut a sample up in here. This is where the nut is, where my finger is. This is all waste up in here. So I'm going to cut a slot along here in order to find the depth that I want with the saw blade. Now, we're going to change the saw blade because what I have in there is too big. This is a blade. It came from High Mountain Tonewoods. They're out west. This is 24 thousandths of an inch in thickness. It's a 6-inch blade, and I use this only for cutting frets, nothing else. And so if you want, you can order this. This is available at places like StewMac and LMI. It's not cheap. I'm trying to think of what I paid for this, probably in the neighborhood of $80, $85, whereas some of the others are well over $100. So we're going to put this onto the saw in just a minute to cut our slots. And so we are all set. Now, this board, and I'll show you a close-up of this, you'll see a pin in here. Take a look at that. Now that pin is actually going to be placed on the fence, and then the little grooves that are contained in the template. Okay, so what we're going to do is take this piece of poplar where I have measured and put a very small pin right in on the line. Then the slot goes into that particular hole, and then I push this across and I cut it, as you'll see in a minute, and then I pull it out, and then I cut the next one, run it through, lift it up, bring it back, move it to number 2, push it through, lift it up, pull it back, and if you're worried about pulling it back over the top of the blade while it's spinning, then turn the blade off, turn the saw off, and then start again. It's better to be safe than sorry. So I urge you, do not push this forward and pull it back, because it can do this and it can wobble, and you can get a slot that's too wide. Now understand that when these blades are spinning at the rate they are, they can even have a wobble on it, and I have a stiffener that goes on the side of this to keep this blade flat so that it gives me a straight cut. And I find that that's really important. So let's head over to the saw and we'll get set to do that cut right now. got my tea, and we're calling this a day. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. I've got to refresh this and go up and have a little more.